As a result, Hall of Famer Scottie Pippen not buying KD as the best player in the world. Take a listen.
Surpassing LeBron James takes a little bit more than an individual's effort. LeBron James is a complete team player who understands team and winning. Has KD gotten to that level yet? He went home.
He's got 2 championships and 2 finals MVPs, right?
But to say that he's surpassed LeBron, I think he still has some learning to do in terms of what it takes to will a team to victory.
Woo. All right, Chris Broussard, what do you make of what Scottie Pippen had to say to our buddy Vinny Goodwill there?
I think he was right. I don't think it's his criticism. I think this is stating what has happened. And let me give the context. Scottie Pippen knows of what he speaks because Scottie Pippen was that superstar, that all-time great player who himself could not will his own team to victory. When Michael Jordan was gone, yeah, they were good. They won 55 games. They got to the second round of the playoffs, but they lost. We saw Scottie have issues when Phil Jackson makes a play call for Tony Kukoc. Those intangibles it took to get you over the hump, Scottie didn't have. And the next year, they were a pretty decent team, but not really good. Then he goes to Portland. They brought you to Portland to teach us how to win. They're up 15 going into the fourth quarter against the Shaq-Kobe Lakers in Game 7, and they lose the game. So Scottie knows it is tough. And not all the greats can lead their own team to the ultimate championship, which, of course, is the NBA Finals. And so Kevin Durant, we can talk about, he could do it. Of course he can do it. Fact is, he hasn't. All right, he has not yet proven, as great as he is, and he's phenomenal, he has not yet proven he can lead his own team to the title. Oklahoma City never did it. In fact, blew a 3-1 lead to Golden State once. Golden State, he was the best player on the team, but it wasn't his team. All right, it's kind of like LeBron in Miami. LeBron was the best player on the team, but D-Wade was like the leader, and D-Wade was that strong voice. But LeBron went to Cleveland and L.A. and proved he could lead his own team. Pippen, that's what he can do in Brooklyn, but he has yet to do it. He did not do it in these playoffs. I know the injuries and all that, but he hasn't done it. So Scottie was right on the money.
Oh, my goodness. Come on, legend. Been covering basketball for so long. Man, all those greats you're talking about had somebody that contributed. Whether you're talking about LeBron James in Cleveland, he had Kyrie. Remember the big shot Kyrie hit? So miss me with that, Chris, because it's disrespectful for what you just said is disrespectful, and Scottie Pippen, because when you look at that last series, Joe Harris, how do you go from being the 3-point champion? How do you go from being leading the NBA from three? From a percentage standpoint, 47%, to all of a sudden now you're shooting 20% from 3 in the playoffs in the biggest moment of your life in the Nets career, in the Nets life as well. Like, that is ridiculous. This dude down the stretch missed 20-something down 3-pointers. That was terrible. And then you had James Harden out there on one leg. KD did everything he could possibly do to will his team to victory, and he fell short. The reality is this: is hard to be de-goated, so there is some validity behind what Scottie's saying. Scottie was wishy-washy with who's the GOAT between LeBron and MJ. And now you're talking about the best player on the planet right now. It's going to be hard to dethrone LeBron James. Now, we've seen the best of LeBron. And what we just saw in KD, that may be the best of KD. KD may be able for the next 2-3 years to hold that throne until like a Luka come and dethrone him, or hell, maybe even a Trae Young, which is way out there. If he continues this throughout the Olympics and then through the regular season next year, he could potentially carry that crown. But it's hard to be de-goated. So I get a little bit of what Scottie's saying.
Yeah, look, most of what you said was fine. Kevin Durant was awesome. There's no doubt about it. All I'm saying is Scottie is right in that he has yet to prove it. All right? It's like people that say, well, LeBron could average a triple-double. He didn't. All right, we can speculate he could have. He didn't. All right, you got to do it. And until Kevin Durant leads his own team to the title, people are correct in saying, well, he hasn't proven that yet. LeBron's proven it.
Well, all right, but so here's where I actually disagree with you, Broussard. Because Scottie wasn't saying he hasn't proven it. He was saying he doesn't know how to yet. I think he does know how to, he just hasn't done it yet. Those are two slightly different things. So I don't think Durant has yet officially claimed the title of best player in the world. I think he's closer than he's ever been, but given the fact that the last time LeBron got hurt and it looked like, oh, okay, he's now in a different phase of his career, he came back and won the title and won Finals MVP and was brilliant, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because up until Solomon Hill threw himself into LeBron's ankle, to me, LeBron still looked like the best player in the world. So I think LeBron has earned, a grace period on that. But KD is closer right now than I feel like he ever was in 2017 or 2018. He's right there. I also do feel like Kevin Durant did prove he could absolutely lead a team in this series without help. They just came a possession short. So I disagree with Pippen. And can we put Broussard back on the screen just quickly? I'm surprised to hear this from Pippen because, Broussard, you went through Pippen's history there, but to me, the best example of Scottie when he should know I can do everything and my teammates let me down is the last Eastern Conference playoff game Scottie ever lost, Game 6 of the 95 conference semis. Scottie played brilliantly. He guarded Penny. It was one of his finest games as a Bull. And unfortunately, his best teammate shot 42%, had 6 turnovers, got the game ripped away from him at the end. I'm going to look up who that guy's name was. Oh, it was Michael Jordan. So in that instance, Scottie's best teammate let him down in a game they lost. And so he knew I did everything I could.
Scottie's best.
Yeah. You glossed over it. You glossed over it.
I knew this
it happened. You can look it up. Scottie should know. No, I'm just telling you. No, it's not madness. I mean, Scottie played a great game, but you can't expect Michael Jordan to deal with Nick Anderson wilds. You just can't. So Scottie should know, hey, I did everything I could, but old 45 let me down. Like in that instance, I guess Jordan was Scottie's James Harden. It's like, but Jordan didn't have a bad hamstring. He just wasn't very good in that series. So like sometimes you do everything you can, Wilds, and your teammates let you down. Sometimes that happens, and you still prove more in a loss than sometimes you do in a win.
Yeah, so Broussard, let me take this to its absurd conclusion. Because at the crux
of
Scottie's statement is, well, I'm going to make it more absurd. I'm going to make it, believe me, I can do it. At the crux of Scottie's sort of point is that because the Nets are at home, Durant's accomplishments sort of don't allow him to overtake LeBron, right? So what does Durant need to do? Or does the loss negate everything? What if Durant scored 100 points and they lost? Would Scottie Pippen still be like, you know what? They went home. He still has some learning to do. What if he was taking real jump shots from the opposite foul line? Like, well, you know what? Giannis still got the better. You're still not the best. If we're judging everything on whether or not you advance to the next round, then there's nothing Kevin Durant can do to sort of prove his worth. I find that the absurdity of it kind of proves the absurdity of the original statement.
You are right, Wilds, in that it's not just about winning, because I'm saying it now. I don't know if I said it on this show yesterday. Giannis Antetokounmpo will not be the best player in the world if they win the championship. Obviously, Devin Booker, Chris Paul, neither of those guys will either. But Giannis, who is in the discussion, will not be the best because he has certain holes in his game. Right. When you talk about Kevin Durant and LeBron James does things that Durant doesn't do. He's more of a playmaker. And that's what's allowed LeBron to carry teams to great heights, whether they won the championship or not. Fair. To carry teams to great heights, even if they weren't greatly talented. Durant is more of he's not one-dimensional because he can pass, he can defend, but he doesn't do all the things that LeBron James does on the basketball court. And so that's what he has to. Go ahead, Jim.
To piggyback off you, I think you can even take a step back and say he has more of an impact on the game, LeBron James. There are other variables involved here. He's taken more of a leadership role with his team and all the teams he's been on than Kevin Durant